In January of this year, most of Madison's Vaughn Drive was underwater. The pit area was completely submerged and only a few feet of the judges' stand appeared above the water. Even the Madison Regatta office could not escape the flood. These floods are nothing new to the people of Madison, and in a few short weeks, the river area was cleaned up and ready for race day 1991. Welcome to Simmons Cable Television's final day of coverage of the 1991 Madison Regatta. We've got fast boats, flag starts, lane assignments. It's going to be a different kind of race this year, Hank.
Well, the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup for 1991 has a number of firsts. The flag starts. Instead of the flying start with jockeys trying to get the proper lane that they would like to run in, they're going to line up IndyCar style and go with a flag. Also, they have drawn lottery style for lanes, and the hometown boat, the Miss Madison, has the worst lane of all, lane number 2. At Evansville, twice in lane number 2, the Miss Madison had problems. And the third factor in here is we have 6 turbines, 2 Allisons, and 2 automotive type, actually they're marine type engines. So we've got all different kinds of firsts, and it's going to be a very thrilling race.
With the flag start, it guarantees that 5 boats are going to be going into turn number 1 side by side. That could cause some problems, but it should also make the race very close.
They're very concerned about the problems. Turn number 2 is very narrow. The big concern is that the outside boat, number 5, will have to pinch over because of the tight course, which will move boat number 4 over, which will move boat number 3 over. Boat number 1 is already riding the buoy lane, which leaves boat number 2, the Miss Madison, with no place to go.
The Madison course has always been a very tight course, and with 5 boats going side by side, it should be some very exciting racing.
The 1991 Madison Regatta, brought to you by Simmons Cable Television and PSI Energy.
You'll be hearing a lot of this man today, but you won't be seeing much of him, so we thought we'd take this time to introduce him to him. Dave Taylor, the official announcer of the regatta. Dave, how long have you been doing this?
Since 1982. I did some radio work prior to that time, but I've been the official public address announcer here since 1982 at Madison.
So what do you think about this year's race, especially with the Miss Madison going turbine?
Miss Madison, 3rd fastest qualifier and just a mile an hour behind Winston Eagle. The only thing is with the new starting procedure here, the flag starts, it depends on what lane you draw. We no longer jockey for position like in previous years. Now you're at the mercy of the referees in whatever they draw for your lane position. So if you get stuck in lane 2 through 4, you might be pinched in the corner. The outside lane really is the advantage lane. So I think that's going to be the telltale difference for Miss Madison today. The speed is there, we know, and Mike Hansen is a capable driver, we know that. Really, this year we have the least experienced number of drivers. You know, who would have thought that Scott Pierce would come in here the winningest active driver and only winning 5 races? So that shows the lack of experience that we have. So that kind of, I think, evens things up. Even though the hot dogs, Budweiser and Winston, have the advantage in finances, I think the advantage really isn't clear in terms of who's in the cockpit.
In today's races, all of the boats will be racing in the same heat. The fastest boats will appear in the A heat, with the slower boats appearing in the B heat. And here's the way they line up for Heat 1A. In Lane 1, the U-50 American Spirit. The driver, Mark Evans. It qualified at 129.543. In lane number 2, the U-6 Hometown Miss Madison. The pilot, Mike Hansen. It qualified at 140.406. In lane number 3, the U-12 Miss Budweiser. Driven by Scott Pierce. It qualified at 147.119. The U-8 Ellis Park Thoroughbred Racing will be in lane 4. It's piloted by George Woods Jr. It qualified at 134.933. And in lane number 5, the U-10 Winston Eagle. At the helm, Mark Tate. It qualified at 141.760. Now let's go to the judges' stand and Dave Taylor.
Green flag flies. They're off. And the leader is
the Budweiser. Budweiser now being overtaken by the Winston Eagle into the turn. Winston is getting out of shape. Winston out of shape, but he recovers and comes through the turn, but Budweiser has the nose in front. American Spirit in second place. Miss Madison is down in the water. Miss Madison is in bad shape and has spun in the lower turn. Budweiser is your leader, being chased by the Winston on the outside in second place. Third place is the American Spirit, being chased by Ellis Park. Mike Hansen is struggling to restart the Miss Madison. It happened to him in Heat 1A at Evansville a week ago. Budweiser with the lead, but let's watch the Winston come out on the outside. Miss Madison is restarted and going in the first turn. Here is your leader, Miss Budweiser, coming down the main straightaway, being chased by the Winston Eagle. Look how light the Winston Eagle is. Winston just about got out of shape. Budweiser by 3/4 of a rooster tail lead, but Miss Madison still struggling in the turn. Let's see if they get through there safely. Miss Madison plowing water. Bud gets through there safely. Winston gets through safely. There is the American Spirit coming through the turn, and now Ellis Park goes in. Budweiser is a 3/4 of a rooster tail ahead of the Winston. Madison is way deep in the turn and still struggling to get restarted. A lot of smoke rolling off of the exhaust stack of that turbine engine. Meanwhile, in the upper turn, we are rounding the turn with Budweiser in front, but Winston still giving chase, and we're about to complete lap number 2 of 3. American Spirit in third place, being chased by Ellis Park. Budweiser is the clear leader on the main straightaway, and the green flag flies. 1 lap to go for Scotty Pierce in the Budweiser, but the Winston is still giving chase. Mark Tate is still gaining ground into the turn. Let's see how they come through the turn. We were timing both of these boats as they negotiated that turn. Budweiser bounces hard. Winston is moving up on the Budweiser. Winston moving up on the Budweiser on the back straightaway. Third place is the American Spirit. Fourth is Ellis Park. Miss Madison is now, again, restarting on the backstretch. Budweiser is still ahead, but Winston is moving up in the rooster tail. Winston is moving up into the turn under the Madison-Milton Bridge. Budweiser with the lead. Winston is on the outside, on his hip. Let's see how they come off of that turn. Budweiser comes out about lane 4. Winston is on the side. It's going to be a dogfight down the straightaway to the finish. Here they come. Budweiser is ahead by about 3 boat lengths, and he is going to hold on. Budweiser will hold on to win by about 2 boat lengths over the Winston Eagle. Here comes your third place boat, the American Spirit, being chased by the Ellis Park. Miss Madison is on the outside in 5th place. American Spirit takes 3rd place in Heat 1A. 4th place goes to the Ellis Park. Miss Madison just finishes lap 1 and has 2 laps to go to be able to score points here in Heat 1A. Remember, the boats have 15 minutes from the time they cross the start line in order to finish to be eligible to score points. So Miss Madison still has plenty of time to finish in 5th place to gain those all-important points that will help them get into the final later today. 3 of our boats are home. The checkered flag now flies for the hometown entry, our own Miss Madison and Mike Hansen.
Well, it's a good, exciting race. You know, Mark's hanging it out, and I just drove hard enough to win the boat race.
How was it down in turn 1, that first turn?
It's horrible. I just drew lane 2 for the second heat. Winston just drew lane 1. We're going to find out just how bad it is, I'm afraid.
We now have Bob Hughes, president of Miss Madison. Bob, what happened in Heat 1A?
Well, it's kind of the same thing that hurt us in Evansville. We got lane 2, and that hurt everybody down there. All the drivers in Evansville with this flag start was real concerned about lane 2. The only heat that Budweiser didn't win in Evansville, they were in lane 2. And I know Mike and Scotty Pierce were both talking about it, and they just dreaded ever being in it. And it bit us again, and we had a lane, but this boat don't turn real good on the inside, apparently, as Mike has alluded to. And of course, most of them don't. And you're in a real unique position in lane 2. You got the guy in lane 1 that has the potential of bearing out, and the guy in lane 3 that has the potential of coming in. So you don't really have a lot of room. Of course, it's tough for all of them. The real bad thing that I dislike, of course, is the flag start. I think that to send 5 guys in there that are intent on winning into that first turn at the same speed with especially these tight corners very difficult.
Miss Madison will be hoping for any lane but 2 come Heat 2A.
These are the boats that will be racing in the B heats, and here's the way they line up in Heat 1B. In lane number 1, the U2 Harvey Motorsports, driven by Steve David. It qualified at 104.346. In lane number 2, the U7 Thor Racing with Jerry Hopp driving. It qualified at 101.551. In lane number 3, the U9 Miss Motorcraft. Jack Schaefer Jr. is driving. It qualified at 109.924. The UR5 Edge Gel Shaving Cream is in lane number 4. It's driven by Larry Louderback. It qualified at 105.510. And in lane number 5, another hometown boat, the U3 Miss DOC Ray-Ban, driven by Mitch Evans. It qualified at 117.226. And now let's go to Dave Taylor with the action.
They're off and running, and Motorcraft Thunder has the lead. No, it's Miss DOC moving into the lead. Miss DOC takes over the lead as they move into the turn. Sweeping through that first turn now, the leader is now Harvey Motorsports and Steve David, but look for the DOC to give chase on the outside. Jack Schaefer is safely through the turn. Edge Shaving Gel is through the turn very well. Steve David and the Harvey Motorsports is being chased by Mitch Evans in the Miss DOC. It's a dogfight on the back straightaway between the DOC and the Harvey Motorsports. Harvey Motorsports still with a slight lead as they move under the Madison Milton Bridge, being chased by the Miss Motorcraft and Edge Shaving Gel. Side by side, they bounce through that upper turn. It's Harvey Motorsports with the nose in front coming off the exit buoy. Harvey Motorsports with Steve David at the wheel being chased by the Miss DOC. Mitch Evans coming up on the outside. They're side by side charging down the straightaway, and Miss DOC takes over the lead. Miss DOC takes over the lead by half of a deck. Moving into the turn, Motorcraft 120.40 miles an hour on lap 1 for your leader. Harvey Motorsports with the lead off of the turn, being chased by Miss DOC. Motorcraft in third, fourth place, Edge Shaving Gel, but look at the fight on the back straightaway. Harvey Motorsports with the lead, but Miss DOC is right there. Miss Motorcraft coming through the turn and into the back straightaway very safely. Edge Shaving Gel still underway. Your leader is Harvey Motorsports, and he has put a little bit of distance in front of the Miss DOC this time around. Steve David with the lead, and the green flag is flying at the finish line. That signifies he'll have one more lap to go. Some blue smoke trailing behind the only turbine-powered entry in this heat. Lap 2 is complete for Harvey Motorsports in the lead. Second place is Miss DOC. 123 miles an hour for the Harvey Motorsports on lap 2. Miss Motorcraft, oh, we've got Harvey Motorsports in trouble. Harvey Motorsports is in trouble. We saw a puff of blue smoke as he came down the straightaway, and he calls it a day for this heat anyway, as the canopy is coming open. The canopy is coming open for Harvey Motorsports, and Miss DOC moves by to take over the lead. Miss Motorcraft Thunder moving through the turn very slowly, and Edge Shaving Gel is going down on the main straightaway. Losing power is Larry Lauterbach. Steve David is standing on the deck of the Harvey Motorsports, and he's signaling for help, and they're going to send some people over to him. I think that Steve took a hard bounce in that lower turn. He took a hard bounce in that lower turn, and he's got damage. He's asking for assistance. Edge Shaving Gel is making its way back to the shoreline and fails to finish. But the checkered flag is flying, and here is your winner, Miss DOC Ray-Ban and Mitch Evans. Miss Motorcraft Thunder rounding the upper turn now, and for the first time this season, Jack Schaefer Jr. will score points in an unlimited hydroplane heat in Miss Motorcraft. The checkered flag flies, and there is your second place boat, Miss Motorcraft Thunder.
Winner of Heat 1B, Mitch Evans in Miss DOC Ray-Ban. Mitch, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a great race. The water's a little bit rough, but we got a good outside lane, so the boat ran real well.
Could you see what happened to Steve David?
No, I just could tell he was trailing a little bit of smoke out of the motor, and he kept being right there, but he must have lost the engine, I take it.
One more question, where's the smoothest part of the course?
It seems to be on the outside lanes. The water seems to be piling up down into the turns, so I think the last 3 or 4 lanes is going to be the place to run.
Mitch Evans, 1 victory under his belt in elimination heats today.
Larry Louderback, driver of the Edge Jail. You came into the pit early. What happened?
Believe it or not, of all things, the canopy popped open on me. As I went out for the start of the heat, there was one lock released for some reason. We had 2 locks on the canopy, and the left lock released. So I was having to hold the canopy down closed with one hand, drive with the other hand. They said one lock, so we were pretty secure there. But then on the second lap, the second lock released and opened the canopy. I could pull it back down and get it relatched. So
It'll be easy to correct. You'll be back out there racing.
Yeah, we'll be back out. Yeah.
And now let's go over to Hank Bentz, who is in the Harvey Motor Camp.
Thank you, Chuck. Steve David, you were running a good race out in front. What happened?
Well, Mitch Evans is a great driver, and he was pushing me real hard, and to get ahead of him, I had to leave it wide open into that turn, and about, I guess, 175 or 180, I went into it, and it kind of got airy and came down real hard and blew out the bottom of the right sponsons.
Can you fix it?
No, we can't really do it right and make it safe, and this team won't let the boat go out unless it's safe, so we're going to wish Cooper the best of luck. They're hard chargers, and I think he'll do real well today.
Tough day for Steve David. He's on the shore.
When Mommy and Daddy got married, they needed a place to live. So they went to Madison First Federal and got some money for our home. Now Mommy says she's going to bring home my baby brother. Don't know where she's getting him, but I know we got to put him someplace. So they went back to Madison First Federal. Now we got a bigger house and a baby brother, but still no room for a dog.
Anytime you need a loan or other financial services, think Madison First Federal.
If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, think Nybert Wolf. The professional staff at Nybert Wolf is happy to be one of the sponsors of the Madison Regatta programs. Let Nybert Wolf show you one of these new quality Super Saver homes. This 2-story colonial by Hale Construction. This 4-bedroom home built by Jerry Solly. This early American built by Jet Builders. Or this brick Cape Cod by Wolf Construction. To view these or any other homes, call the professional staff at Nybert Wolf at 273-5555. Most people consider warranties top priority in buying a heating or cooling system, but you won't have to worry if you purchase from an authorized water furnace dealer. Water Furnace is the geothermal leader committed to quality and customer satisfaction. Our dealers and geothermal contractors are carefully selected and trained so they can offer you worry-free warranties. Your GeoLink pipe and earth loop system will have a warranty for 55 years. The rest of the system is covered by other warranties. Come to Steinhardt's Heating and Cooling for more information on the Water Furnace. HomeTech, the professional building company since 1978. We have a reputation of building the highest quality homes at reasonable prices. If you are thinking of building a new home, consider HomeTech, a construction company with experience. You can also visit HomeTech's kitchen and bathroom showroom for cabinets, vanities, tops, ceramic tiles, and faucets. HomeTech, Village Square Shopping Center, 220 Clifty Drive, or call 273-6176. Bill Wooster, owner of the U8 Ellis Park Racing. You suffered some damage. What's it look like?
Looks like the damage is much more extensive than we had hoped for. We found some stringers broken and some framing back further in the sponson, and we're trying to make decisions on whether we can get the thing put back together good enough to take it out and race it, or maybe we may have to withdraw from this race. So we're racers. We don't like to withdraw. If there's any way we can make it, we will, but there's always that chance.
Winston will have lane 1. Budweiser will have lane 2. Madison will have lane 3. And American Spirit on the outside. That will be the boat that all of the 3 inside boats will key off of when we get ready for the start. That's the WMPI American Spirit. They're moving down the straightaway now, and the white flag is still being displayed as we're about a minute away from the start. But they are in formation, and they're going to give the green flag now. The green flag flies, and Winston has the lead by half a boat length as they move toward the turn. Let's see how the outside boats do as they get there. Winston with the lead, the inside lane advantage, takes a hard bounce, slowing, almost hooked the boat. Budweiser goes by. Budweiser goes by on the outside. Giving chase now is the Miss Madison and the American Spirit on the outside.
Budweiser still in the lead, almost a full rooster tail behind is the Winston. Miss Madison third on the outside. In fourth place is the American Spirit. Bud with the lead. Coming into the turn, Winston giving chase. He goes through the rooster tail and gets out of shape. Winston is out of shape and slowing. Budweiser now the clear leader. Madison and American Spirit go by the Winston. Winston now comes back up on power, and it's a race for second place between the American Spirit and the Winston. Winston has the second place lead. Budweiser completes the lap in first place. Winston is second place. Third is American Spirit. Fourth, Miss Madison. Budweiser coming through the turn smoothly. Still in the lead. Winston giving chase and slowing in the turn. Winston is going down. Winston has lost power in the turn. Madison is trying to get around him safely. Madison made it by. Winston plowing water, trying to restart, and does. Winston now in fourth place, giving chase. Budweiser is millions of miles out in front, coming through the upper turn. Budweiser into the straightaway now. Making its way down the straightaway, the green flag flies. Second place is the American Spirit. Third place, Miss Madison, but look at the Winston move up. Winston moves up side by side to the Miss Madison in the upper turn, but bounces hard again and out of control. But now he maintains control and strares off into the straightaway. Madison bouncing hard. Budweiser through the lower turn in the lead. American Spirit second, Madison third, and Winston fourth. On the back straightaway in the third lap, American Spirit second place, giving chase is the Miss Madison. Winston struggling again in that turn. Winston bounces hard in that turn. Mike Hansen now giving chase. There's a loud pop. Madison giving chase to the American Spirit on the back straightaway. Clearly your winner is going to be the Budweiser. The race will be for second place. Let's see if Mike Hansen can catch Mark Evans. The checkered flag flying for Bernie Littles, Miss Budweiser, and Scott Pierce for the second time in a row today. American Spirit off the turn in second place. Mike Hansen still giving chase, as is the Winston. But it's going to shape up very close here. Madison is charging. Madison is charging, but it's American Spirit. American Spirit takes second. Third place, Miss Madison. Fourth place, Winston Eagle. Mark Evans and American Spirit finishing second in that heat. Mark, that was quite a heat.
Yeah, that was nice. That was we had a good break there from the Winston people. I don't know what went wrong with their motors, but saw him go down once, started to. Him and the Madison got a little close. We got by them both, and then he went up the other corner and went dead. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we got by, and we're pleased with it. We're in the final.
Okay, one more question. What about the flag start here on the narrow turns? Have you had any problems?
No, you do have a little trouble watching for that flag. It's kind of in with the green trees up there, but when it's open wide and flying, you see it and you get on it. It's an interesting concept, and I'm starting to like it.
Thank you, Mark. Charles Egerton is at the Winston Eagle camp.
Mark, you lost power on that first turn, and then you almost rode a rooster tail. What happened?
Well, we really didn't lose power in the first turn. The inside lane, it was just so rough down in there that couldn't hold the lane, had to de-accelerate so much. But then we couldn't close the gap enough on Budweiser going into 3 and 4, and we got caught in their whitewater. And I guess that's just the way it goes with these lane draws. It's lady luck to know what position you get, and what's going to happen is really determined by the draw, and it's out of our hands.
You suffered a little bit of damage to the boat.
I'm not aware of that. I've been in the camper here getting cool. I'm sure the crew will get it fixed and have it ready to go.
How about the water conditions out there?
Oh, they're very sloppy, and especially with this flag start going into the first turn, it just makes it an ocean.
We have the edge on the inside lane. Lane 2 is Miss Motorcraft, and in lane 3 on the outside is the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. As they make their way toward the start line, the green flag flies, and they're side by side on the main straightaway. Your leader is the Edge Shaving Gel, being chased by Motorsports and Miss DOC Ray-Ban. Into the turn, there are 3 boats side by side. Edge on the inside lane with that shortest trip around the race course. Motorsports bouncing hard, giving chase. Miss DOC on the outside is also giving chase, but your leader is Edge Shaving Gel and Larry Lauterbach. Motorcraft is moving up. Miss Motorcraft takes over the lead on the back straightaway. And giving chase is still the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. Miss Motorcraft Thunder
out in the lead by a boat length over the edge, Shaving Gel as they approach the bridge. Miss DOC is somewhat trailing on the outside lane as they move into the upper turn. The lead is still with Jack Schaefer and Miss Motorcraft. Edge Shaving Gel cutting tight to the buoy line, still giving chase, but they're almost side by side off of that turn. The Ray-Ban, Miss DOC Ray-Ban, falling back somewhat, but still giving chase. You will recall that Mitch Evans had problems getting started, but now your leader is Miss Motorcraft and Jack Schaefer Jr. finishing lap number 1 in the lead. Edge Shaving Gel is moving up. They're almost side by side in the turn. There goes Miss DOC, still giving chase. Edge takes over the lead in the lower turn. Edge Shaving Gel now has the lead, but Jack Schaefer pours on the coals in the Motorcraft, still giving chase on the back straightaway. Miss DOC coming up behind in third place, still giving chase. Edge Shaving Gel and the Motorcraft are side by side. Motorcraft puts the nose in front. And no, here comes the Shaving Gel to move up too. Side by side, they sweep under the Madison-Milton Bridge. Larry Lauterbach and Jack Schaefer Jr. giving it one tremendous show for the race fans. Side by side through the upper turn, off of the exit buoy of the turn. It's the Edge with a slight advantage as they round that turn into the straightaway. Edge has the edge on the straightaway, but here comes the Motorcraft. The Motorcraft takes over the lead. Here comes Miss DOC Ray-Ban off the turn. The green flag flies, and your leader is Miss Motorcraft. Miss Motorcraft is in the lead, and Larry Lauterbach's canopy is open. Larry Lauterbach's canopy is open on the Edge Shaving Gel. The Shaving Gel canopy has popped open on the cockpit. Third place, Miss DOC Ray-Ban at the end of 2 laps. But Larry Lauterbach is still giving chase. Motorcraft in the lead and pulling ahead slightly over the Edge Shaving Gel. Shaving Gel still giving chase on the back straightaway, but it's a full rooster tail length lead for the Miss Motorcraft Thunder with Jack Schaefer Jr. And Mitch Evans still giving chase in third place on the back straightaway. Checkered flag is waiting in the hands of the flagman at the start-finish line. And Miss Motorcraft coming off of the corner, and Miss DOC Ray-Ban. Mitch Evans pulls to the infield. The canopy is open, and he will not finish and will not score in Hoosier Lottery Heat 2B. But here is your winner, Miss Motorcraft and Jack Schaefer Jr. That team's first heat win. Second place will go to the Edge Shaving Gel and Larry Lauterbach. And he tips his hat to the shoreline as he takes the checkered flag.
Jack Schaefer Jr., the Motorcraft, you came out of a very exciting heat and won.
Oh, it was a lot of fun, you know, racing against Larry Lauterbach in the Edge boat. He's been driving longer than I have, and Bill Muncie said many times older's better. We had a lot of fun out there. That was no show. If people think that we were sandbagging to put on a show to make a statement for automotive power, that wasn't the case. We were out there racing, going deck to deck. I don't know how Larry did it. His canopy came open. I looked at him. He's got one hand on the canopy, one hand on the wheel, and I'm hanging on to my boat. It was just an exciting day. It's been a long time since I've had a race like that.
And the water conditions?
Well, the water's rough, but, you know, it's rough for him, it's rough for me, it's rough for everybody. You know, you go racing, you go racing.
The first win of the season for Jack Schaefer Jr. in Motorcraft. And now Charles is going to talk with Larry Lauterbach.
Pretty exciting racing, almost old times, but you're out there driving with one hand again.
Yeah, that's no fun driving with one hand, one of these 4,500-pound race boats. But the Edge Shaving Gel is running great. Jack Schaefer and I put on a heck of a race for 2 laps. It was like old times, 2 automotive boats or 2 piston-powered boats running deck to deck, and putting on a show for the fans, and really had a good time. Jack and I ran close, but ran clean, and that's what it's all about. Go have fun. But we do have a problem with the canopy. The guys are working on it. We don't know what the problem is. There's something wrong with the latches. I think the vibration is letting the locks move around and releasing the canopy. So Mike and Larry will figure it out, and we'll get it going again.
This is the 20th anniversary of Miss Madison's victory here in 1971, the Gold Cup. The man who drove Miss Madison to victory is Jim McCormick of Owensboro, Kentucky. Jim, has the memory of that faded?
Hank, it seems to get bigger every year, especially this year on the 20th anniversary.
Can you relive the final heat for us briefly?
Well, we got lucky and broke out in front, and I prayed the rest of the way that the thing wouldn't break, and fortunately it didn't.
That was no fluke. The next weekend, you won again.
No, yeah, that was really a pleasure when we went to the Atomic Cup and won that one to back our victory up here.
This is the most competitive Miss Madison's been since '71. What do you think of it?
I think she's got a good chance to win. The boat is really in good shape, looked good yesterday. You got an excellent driver in Mike Hansen. Good crew. I think she's got a good chance to win this year. I hope she does. It'd be nice for the 20th anniversary, wouldn't it?
The Miss Madison slogan this year is "The Legend Lives On." There are two legends here. One of them is Jim McCormick.
If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, think Nybert Wolf. The professional staff at Nybert Wolf is happy to be one of the sponsors of the Madison Regatta programs. Let Nybert Wolf show you one of these new quality Super Saver homes. This 2-story colonial by Hale Construction. This 4-bedroom home built by Jerry Solly. This early American built by Gent Builders. Or this brick Cape Cod by Wolf Construction. To view these or any other homes, call the professional staff at Nybert Wolf at 273-5555. Most people consider warranties top priority in buying a heating or cooling system, but you won't have to worry if you purchase from an authorized water furnace dealer. Water Furnace is the geothermal leader committed to quality and customer satisfaction. Our dealers and geothermal contractors are carefully selected and trained so they can offer you worry-free warranties. Your GeoLink pipe and earth loop system will have a warranty for 55 years. The rest of the system is covered by other warranties. Come to Steinhardt's Heating and Cooling for more information on the Water Furnace. HomeTech, the professional building company since 1978. We have a reputation of building the highest quality homes at reasonable prices. If you are thinking of building a new home, consider HomeTech, a construction company with experience. You can also visit HomeTech's kitchen and bathroom showroom for cabinets, vanities, tops, ceramic tiles, and faucets. HomeTech, Village Square Shopping Center, 220 Clifty Drive, or call 273-6176.
When Mommy and Daddy got married, they needed a place to live, so they went to Madison First Federal and got some money for our home. Now Mommy says she's going to bring home my baby brother. Don't know where she's getting him, but I know we got to put him someplace. So they went back to Madison First Federal. Now we got a bigger house and a baby brother, but still no room for a dog.
Anytime you need a loan or other financial services, think Madison First Federal.
The 1991 Madison Regatta, brought to you by Simmons Cable Television and PSI Energy.
Last July, Madison, Indiana was a stop for the Great Solar Car Race. These futuristic cars from around the globe raced from Florida to Indianapolis. The people of Madison had the opportunity to look at the future of automotive power, high tech as a part of everyday life, including unlimited hydroplane racing. We talked with Ron Brown, crew chief of the Miss Budweiser.
Unlimited racing teams are always looking for that little bit of advantage when trying to improve the performance of their boats. The Budweiser team are now using computers to help analyze the engines. Ron, give us a little bit of how the computers help the team.
Well, Charles, they're great at monitoring the engine vitals and things like that, and the engine is very susceptible to over temperature, and we can monitor the exhaust gas temperature. We can monitor the N1 of the engine, which is the RPM of the compressor. We can monitor the N2, which is the actual propeller speed. So the vitals of the engine are very important to us. The driver just can't watch the gauges totally all the way around the race course, and the computers now give us a complete map of what that engine's doing. Not to mention, we also monitor quite a few things on the hull: airspeed, water speed, even where the wing settings are, how he's moving the throttle, how he is moving the canard wings on the front. So we know exactly how he's driving the boat and how the boat is performing by just reviewing the computer analysis.
So how much has this improved the performance of the Miss Budweiser?
Well, again, tremendously, because now we don't really have to go through that much of a guessing game anymore, nor do we have to ask the driver a lot of questions. We immediately offload the information into our base computer in our truck, and then therefore make analysis of how the run was. For instance, we even can calculate the slippage of the propeller, and that also tells us how hard the boat is riding on the water or how loose the boat is on the water. So it's really now into a whole new era as far as tuning boats, keeping track of the engines, to which engine performs better than the last one, which propeller is better than the last one. So it just really takes a lot of the guessing game out of it.
We'll find out how much the computer helps the Miss Budweiser team in Heat 3A.
Miss Madison is in lane 1, Winston Eagle lane 2, American Spirit lane 3, Budweiser lane 4. They're all where they're supposed to be. We're going to watch the referee. Are they in formation? And he's waiting, he's waiting. They're all in line, and the green flag flies. Here they come toward the start line, and it's the Winston Eagle taking over the lead by a boat length over Miss Madison as they move toward the first turn. Sweeping into that turn, it's Miss Madison on the inside lane, but the leader is Winston. Madison pinching tight to the buoy line, and on the outside, Madison and Budweiser side by side. There goes the American Spirit, but Winston Eagle is in the lead. Look at the fight for second place there. Budweiser on the outside, moving up on the leader. Madison is moving up on the American Spirit for third place. Madison charging hard. Winston the leader, rounding the upper turn. Giving chase is the Budweiser. Madison gets a little bit pinched tight to the buoy line and is out of position. Losing power there, and now spooling back up, recovering is Mike Hansen and the Miss Madison. But your leader, completing lap 1, is the Winston Eagle, being chased by Miss Budweiser. 136 for your leader. The speed on lap 1. American Spirit flying in third, giving chase is Miss Madison. Look at the race for first. Coming off the corner, Budweiser is catching up. Budweiser is coming up on the Winston on the back straightaway. Hidden in the spray there, as Budweiser has clearly the advantage in the turns, but Winston has great acceleration on the stretches. Winston still the leader into the turn, putting up a high wall of water. 2 high walls of water coming through that turn. Winston comes wide off the corner. There's Budweiser giving chase. Here they come to the line to complete lap number 2. Winston still the leader. Budweiser giving chase and running hard. Winston is ahead by 1/3 of a rooster tail. 135 for the Winston, 137 for the Budweiser. The speed on lap 2. Winston through the turn first. Budweiser is there. Budweiser moving up. Again, out of the turn. Third place is American Spirit. Fourth place, Miss Madison. Winston Eagle still has the lead over the Bud, but Scott Pierce will not give up. Mark Tate hoping to hold on for the victory. Hansen charging around the turn. Miss Madison giving chase out of the turn into the back straightaway. American Spirit bouncing hard there. Miss Madison still moving up. Look at the race out of the fourth turn. Winston and Budweiser moving to the checkered flag. Here comes the Winston. Here comes the Bud to the line. Here they come. Budweiser is moving up. Winston gets light. At the line, it's Budweiser. At the line, unofficially, it's Budweiser. Unofficially, we'll have to get an official word. 138 for the Budweiser, 135 for the Winston. Here comes the race for third place now. Madison is moving up on the outside. American Spirit. Madison moving up. Madison.
Well, Bernie, that was a pretty close race, but the Miss Budweiser seems to be running pretty good today.
Yeah, it really is. We had lane 5. We drew lane 5, and of course out in lane 5, and Winston, our biggest competition, was lane 2, and that's the right place to be. So we knew we was going to have a hard run, and we put in an engine that draws a little more power, I must confess, and felt that we could get him down the chute. And we knew we was going to have to pass him. He was going to come around that corner ahead of us. And as we expected, exactly what happened, and we got him in the chute. And for the final heat, if it stays like it is, I figure we'll see 190 down that straightaway. We're over, we're sitting 180 plus here today. And so I figure for the final, probably that first and second lap will have to be at the 190 figure.
Lane 1 will be the Edge Shaving Gel. Lane 2 is Miss Motorcraft Thunder. Lane 3 will be Thor Racing. There's Jerry Hopp poking his nose through there, but slowing somewhat. And on the outside will be the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. Now they're coming down the main straightaway, and Thor Racing is struggling now, ladies and gentlemen, way behind the field. And we're going to go green, so the green flag flies, and Edge Shaving Gel and Miss DOC are side by side, but Mitch Evans pours on the coals and takes over the lead into turn 1. Mitch Evans in Miss DOC Ray-Ban has the lead into the turn, but the inside lane advantage belongs to the Edge, and the Edge belongs to the Edge Shaving Gel. But no, here comes Miss DOC on the outside to take over the lead. Miss DOC Ray-Ban with Mitch Evans at the wheel, taking over the lead. Miss Motorcraft is falling back and struggling. Miss Motorcraft is struggling on the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Jerry Hopp crosses the starting line into the first turn. Motorcraft losing power on the backstretch. Meanwhile, in the turn, your leader is Miss DOC Ray-Ban, driven by Mitch Evans of Chelan, Washington, coming through the turn on the outside. Edge Shaving Gel moving through the turn on the inside lane. Larry Lauterbach trying to gain ground, but Mitch Evans has control in Miss DOC Ray-Ban. And Jerry Hopp is plowing water on the back straightaway. Jerry Hopp losing power. We've got two boats down on the race course. Miss DOC, a full rooster tail length lead ahead of Edge Shaving Gel. Both boats have completed the first lap. Mitch Evans is in the first turn already, midway through the turn. Coming through the turn now is the Edge Shaving Gel. They both will have to go wide of the other two participants who are sitting idle on the back straightaway. Both drivers standing on the deck of their hydroplanes. Meanwhile, on the course, in the back straightaway, midway up toward the bridge, Miss DOC and Mitch Evans in complete control of Contel Heat 3B. Second place, Edge Shaving Gel and Larry Lauterbach. Miss DOC Ray-Ban swinging through the apex of corners 3 and 4 on the upper turn. Rounding that turn and squaring off into the main straightaway, Mitch Evans has the clear lead. Larry Lauterbach cuts close to the buoy line, trying to gain ground. Miss DOC, however, way out in front, the clear leader, and the green flag flies this trip around, signifying 2 laps are complete. 1 lap to go for the Miss DOC and Mitch Evans. Second place, the green flag flying now for the Edge Shaving Gel and Larry Lauterbach. Miss DOC swinging off of the turn and into the back straightaway. Mitch Evans is going to coax it home. Edge Shaving Gel still in pursuit through the turn, off of that second corner pin, into the back straightaway as well, but clearly 3 rooster tail lengths behind the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. DOC and Mitch Evans, less than half a lap to go now, and he'll pick up 23 points for first place in Heat 3B. Mitch Evans into the entrance pin at the apex of corners 3 and 4, swinging off of the corner very smoothly, eyeing the checkered flag now that waits at the start-finish line. He has about 3,000 feet to go, and he'll pick up the win. He's making his way down the main straightaway. Let's bring him home a winner. The winner of Heat 3B, Mitch Evans and Miss DOC Ray-Ban.
Mitch, your second elimination heat problems must be ironed out because you won Heat 3B. You're in the championship.
Yeah, we had a couple little gremlins come up that we finally figured out what they were, and the boat works great, so we're ready for the final heat.
That was a little easier in the early one.
Yeah, I like those kind of. It makes my job a lot easier just to be able to go out and go around. And I kind of expect a little bit more of a push from the Edge boat, but they've been having a few problems too, so I was just glad to get finished and make it to the final.
Most people consider warranties top priority in buying a heating or cooling system, but you won't have to worry if you purchase from an authorized water furnace dealer. Water Furnace is the geothermal leader committed to quality and customer satisfaction. Our dealers and geothermal contractors are carefully selected and trained so they can offer you worry-free warranties. Your GeoLink pipe and earth loop system will have a warranty for 55 years. The rest of the system is covered by other warranties. Come to Steinhardt's Heating and Cooling for more information on the Water Furnace. HomeTech, the professional building company since 1978. We have a reputation of building the highest quality homes at reasonable prices. If you are thinking of building a new home, consider HomeTech, a construction company with experience. You can also visit HomeTech's kitchen and bathroom showroom for cabinets, vanities, tops, ceramic tiles, and faucets. HomeTech, Village Square Shopping Center, 220 Clifty Drive, or call 273-6176.
married, they needed a place to live. So they went to Madison First Federal and got some money for our home. Now Mommy says she's going to bring home my baby brother. Don't know where she's getting him, but I know we got to put him someplace. So they went back to Madison First Federal. Now we got a bigger house and a baby brother, but still no room for a dog.
Anytime you need a loan or other financial services, think Madison First Federal.
If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, think Nybert Wolf. The professional staff at Nybert Wolf is happy to be one of the sponsors of the Madison Regatta programs. Let Nybert Wolf show you one of these new quality Super Saver homes. This 2-story colonial by Hale Construction. This 4-bedroom home built by Jerry Solly. This early American built by Gent Builders. Or this brick Cape Cod by Wolf Construction. To view these or any other homes, call the professional staff at Nybert Wolf at 273-5555.
On the outside lane is the Edge, middle lane is the Motorcraft, inside is the Madison. The green flag flies, and they're underway. There goes the Edge shaving gel on the outside, but Miss Madison has the lead going into the turn. Miss Madison with the lead into the turn. Let's see if they get through there safely. Madison with the lead, rounding the turn very smoothly, looking very good. The two automotive boats are working side by side. It's a battle for second place, but your leader is Miss Madison. Look at the fight for second, though, side by side. Motorcraft in the Edge shaving gel. The Edge by 1 boat length in second place. Miss Madison clearly out in front, but let's see. This turn gave him trouble the last 2 times around. Will he get through safely? Mike Hansen moving around the exit pin of the upper turn, and he makes it smoothly. The leader is Miss Madison, and he's making his way down the main straightaway. But look at the battle for second place. These guys are fighting hard. Your leader completes lap number 1. There's Miss Madison. 123 miles an hour, the average for Miss Madison, down into turn 1 now. The fight for second right now belongs to Jack Schaefer and the Miss Motorcraft. Trailing is the Edge shaving gel. But Miss Madison is your leader on the back straightaway. A full turn ahead of the 2 automotive boats giving chase. Motorcraft in second, Edge shaving gel losing some ground in the turn there in third. Moving under the Madison-Milton Bridge now, the hometown Hydro, Mike Hansen and the Miss Madison. Kicking up the high wall of water with that rooster tail, the skid fin blade biting in as well, and he rounds the turn, squares off in great shape, leaving a froth of water behind him, and the green flag flies for your leader, Miss Madison. A rainbow effect trailing along in that rooster tail behind. Your leader has completed lap 2. 127 miles an hour on lap 2 for the Madison. Second place is still the Miss Motorcraft. Third is the Edge shaving gel as they round that upper turn. Rounding the lower turn and into the back straightaway. Mike Hansen and the Miss Madison. Making his way along the Kentucky shoreline, the green flag now flies for Miss Motorcraft and Jack Schaefer Jr. Edge shaving gel is giving pursuit. But under the Madison-Milton Bridge, Mike Hansen and the Miss Madison. Let's nurse it home, Mike. All of you fans along the shoreline, let's bring him home. He has a straightaway to go to the checkered flag. Let's bring him home with a cheer. Miss Madison and Mike Hansen. And the checkered flag flies for the winner of the last chance heat, Miss Madison.
The host, Miss Madison, is in the championship heat after winning the last chance elimination heat. Mike Hansen, you gave us a little scare, a little drama there when you went dead in the water just before the start.
I had to do something, otherwise it'd been a cakewalk. No, we were just going through that turn too slow. I mean, these boats are supposed to be going through these turns at 110, coming down the starting line. They're going about 65. And this thing just plows way too much water. You can't see where you're going, and it just grabbed an air trap and spun around on me. You know, it's just it's an unfortunate deal, but it's a real unsafe situation we got here where we designate how fast a guy should go when and where he needs to be. Guys are putting boats in where they shouldn't be and going speeds they shouldn't be going at. So it's we're just trying to make it through this weekend in one piece, and hopefully we can get something changed for the next race.
Mike, could you hear the fans cheering? I know you couldn't hear them, but could you see them waving? They were cheering and waving as you came across the checkered flag, and then again as you pulled at the dock.
No, that's one of the bad parts about being a driver. You never get to see much of that. You know, hopefully they'll wait for me to open the canopy next time.
hopefully you'll get an outside lane in the championship heat.
Let's hope so.
Mike Hansen was hoping for a wide lane at the start of the championship heat. He did not get his wish. In fact, in lane 1 will be the host, Miss Madison. In lane 2, the American Spirit, Miss Budweiser, with Scott Pierce driving. In lane 3, Winston Eagle, Mark Tate at the helm. In lane 4, Mitch Evans in the Cooper Express. In lane 5, and trailing behind the 5 starters is the Motorcraft of Jack Schaefer Jr. Now the championship heat.
Lane 2, Budweiser lane 3, Winston lane 4, and the Miss DOC lane 5. Madison comes around outside of the Motorcraft and comes through the turn. The white flag is flying. We've got the boats in formation on the main straightaway, and they're coming down now. American Spirit, the green flag flies, and American Spirit quickly has the lead. No, Winston takes over the lead. Winston with the lead, sweeping into the turn. Here comes Miss Madison trailing, and the Motorcraft trailing through that first turn. Your leader is American Spirit. American Spirit has the lead through the turn, and the other boats are lost in the spray. Winston is lost in the spray. Budweiser's lost in the spray. We've got 3 boats together. American Spirit has the lead. American Spirit with the lead on the back straightaway. Miss DOC Ray-Ban giving chase. Miss Madison giving chase, and the Motorcraft coming out of the turn. But 3 boats are working side by side as they come through the turn. American Spirit in the lead around the turn. Second place is the Winston, and third place the Budweiser bounces out of control. It is the Winston and American Spirit. Giving chase is the Budweiser. Here comes the Winston in the lead, leading the teammate American Spirit. Your leader after lap 1 is Winston Eagle. 126 miles an hour for the leader, 123. Oh, we've got damage to the Bud. Look at the Budweiser. Budweiser, serious damage. Serious damage, just like last year. Mike Hansen is giving chase, as is the Miss DOC. Miss DOC catches Budweiser. Miss DOC catches Budweiser. Winston still is the leader. Miss DOC is fighting the Bud, and here comes the Madison. Here comes the Madison. Alongside the Madison is the Budweiser and the DOC. Winston is your leader. Winston comes off of the corner with the lead. American Spirit in second place, but the duel is for third. Winston Eagle getting just a little bit airborne midway down the straightaway, but lap 2 is complete for Mark Tate. American Spirit and Mark Evans. 129 for the Winston. Miss DOC is still fighting, but Miss Madison has taken over third place. Miss Madison is in third. Miss DOC is in fourth. Budweiser falls back to fifth. Winston still your leader. American Spirit bouncing out of the second turn. Budweiser, serious damage for the second year in a row in the final at Madison. That gives the 2 Indiana boats the opportunity to move up in the lineup. Madison is in third, DOC is in fourth, Budweiser falls to fifth. Here comes your 6th place boat, Miss Motorcraft. But the leader is off of the upper corner, making his way down to complete. 1 lap penalty on the Winston. We've just been given the official word. Winston is down 1 lap. Your leader is American Spirit. American Spirit has been taking the lead. That's unofficial at this point, but American Spirit appears to be your leader. Second place, Miss Madison. Miss Madison is second and giving chase. Let's cheer him on. Miss Madison is second. It is official. Winston has been penalized 1 lap. American Spirit is your leader. Madison is second. Madison is outrunning the American Spirit by 4 miles an hour. Let's wish him on. Winston now is in 6th place and giving chase. Has just taken over 5th place from the Motorcraft. Your leader is in the upper turn. That's American Spirit and Mark Evans. Miss Madison is giving chase coming into the turn as the American Spirit comes off the turn. American Spirit is your leader. Second place off the turn is our own Miss Madison. Here's the green flag. the green flag. 1 lap to go for Mark Evans. Here comes Miss Madison. 1 lap to go. Let's go, Mike Hansen. Mike Hansen giving chase. Miss Madison is 6 miles an hour faster than the leader the last trip around. But does he have enough time? Let's bring him on. Let's bring him on. American Spirit on the back straightaway, your leader. Madison is about a third of a straightaway behind. Third place is Miss DOC. Here comes a battle for fourth place now, as Budweiser has it, but Winston is coming on to challenge for fourth place. Here is your leader, off of the upper corner. His first trip ever to Madison. It's Mark Evans in the American Spirit. The checkered flag waits for Mark Evans. Let's see if he can come home the winner. Checkered flag is flying, and there is your 1991 Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup champion, Mark Evans. Here is the second place boat, Miss Madison.
Our race winner, Mark Evans, your first time to come to Madison to compete, and we were just saying here in a conversation with our regatta president, how more fitting for a boat with the red, white, and blue colors and the name American Spirit in the year of Operation Desert Storm to win a boat race on the 4th of July weekend. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you very much. I knew we were going to be proud carrying the colors, but we're really proud now. Thank you very much.
Almost speechless here. A word from team co-owner Ron Jones Jr., who is the third in a long line of boat builders. His grandfather, Ted Jones, built the slow motion 4 that is really the precedent setter for all of the 3-point hydroplanes. His father, Ron Jones Sr., built the Miss Madison that finished second here today, and Ron had a hand in a lot of the hydroplanes that are here today. Congratulations, Ron.
Thank you very much. We're real proud here. We're proud to be here in Madison, and we're all, like Mark said, we're proud to have the red, white, and blue, and we thank you for having us, and we're real glad that we won.
Hank, it's been an unusual regatta. Been a lot of damaged boats today, most notably the Miss Budweiser in the final race, and the Miss Madison almost lost a sponsor. This is worse than racing in Detroit.
That's true. Earlier today, the Ellis Park and Harvey's Motorsports had damage, had to withdraw. And now with the damage you mentioned, of course, Winston Eagle had a little damage on a sponson too in the championship heat. It's been a day of drama. It was not the day of drama that 1971 was when Miss Madison went to victory, but it could have been had that sponson damage not have been there, because Miss Madison had beaten American Spirit, the winner, early in an earlier heat of action.
Well, you know, we watched all the races today, and the UR class seemed to be an exciting race. It was also awful good to hear that thundering sound on the Ohio River again.
It's kind of difficult to call them thunderboats anymore when 6 of them are turbine, but the ones that do have the reciprocating engines create some noise, and the fans like that.
Well, we hope to be back next year covering the Madison Regatta. We've certainly enjoyed bringing you all of the coverage, and we hope to see you next year on Simmons Cable Television. HomeTech, the professional building company since 1978. We have a reputation of building the highest quality homes at reasonable prices. If you are thinking of building a new home, consider HomeTech, a construction company with experience. You can also visit HomeTech's kitchen and bathroom showroom for cabinets, vanities, tops, ceramic tiles, and faucets. HomeTech, Village Square Shopping Center, 220 Clifty Drive, or call 273-6176.
When Mommy and Daddy got married, they needed a place to live, so they went to Madison First Federal and got some money for our home. Now Mommy says she's going to bring home my baby brother. Don't know where she's getting him, but I know we gotta put him someplace. So they went back to Madison First Federal. Now we got a bigger house and a baby brother, but still no room for a dog.
Anytime you need a loan or other financial services, think Madison First Federal.
If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, think Nybert Wolf. The professional staff at Nybert Wolf is happy to be one of the sponsors of the Madison Regatta programs. Let Nybert Wolf show you one of these new quality Super Saver homes. This 2-story colonial by Hale Construction. This 4-bedroom home built by Jerry Solly. This early American built by Gent Builders. Or this brick Cape Cod by Wolf Construction. To view these or any other homes, call the professional staff at Nybert Wolf at 273-5555.
Most people consider warranties top priority in buying a heating or cooling system, but you won't have to worry if you purchase from an authorized water furnace dealer. Water Furnace is the geothermal leader committed to quality and customer satisfaction. Our dealers and geothermal contractors are carefully selected and trained so they can offer you worry-free warranties. Your GeoLink pipe and earth loop system will have a warranty for 55 years. The rest of the system is covered by other warranties. Come to Steinhardt's Heating and Cooling for more information on the Water Furnace.